Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the Netherlands for the start of what is a double header in the Ricmotech Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. We start off the evening here at Zandvoort for a 40-minute race and then head quickly across the English Channel to Silverstone, the southern layout, for another 40-minute race. So something a bit different for you here today on the channel, and hope you enjoy it. Alongside me, Adam Bath, in the commentary box tonight is iRacing World Championship driver and considering going to Silverstone Southern, probably a man who would consider himself a Southerner too. It's Alex Simpson, and I apologise in advance. It is the Apex Racing TV sick bay here tonight, but I think this evening's broadcast should do something, hopefully, to make us feel a bit better, I think.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, we need two good races, don't we, to keep us on the edge of our seats and keep the adrenaline levels high so that we make it through it, I think, tonight.
Yeah. We do have a track guide for Silverstone Southern, which will be coming up a little bit later on. Just a quick reminder again of how things are going to play out. We've got a lone qualifying session just taking place at the moment. It shouldn't be on for too much longer. We've then got a 40-minute timed race. And then we're going to have a quick break, a 20-minute practice session over at Silverstone, another quick lone qualifying session, and then we'll get another 40-minute racing. So it should be good. There will be pit stops in both races too. I'll have an opportunity for bonus points as well for incidents under 6 incidents as well. So, yeah, Zandvoort first of all though, Alex. I think we really can't get two different racetracks here. Zandvoort very undulating, very quick as well. Silverstone Southern very flat in comparison, but still pretty quick.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like Zandvoort. It has got a nice flow to it. It's kind of difficult to overtake. Very short runs. I think the MX-5 race will be very interesting tonight because I feel like it's a bit more of a driver's race circuit, you know, rather than just one of those slipstream ones. So. We may see smaller packs than perhaps what we usually get. The Mustangs will be very similar again, be very difficult to overtake. So, yeah, really going to come down to what the driver can do out there. That's the thing. And then, yeah, Silverstone, the Southern Circuit actually is quite a nice layout. We see times in like some of the BSR leagues that we cover. So, yeah, that should make for an interesting one. The MX-5 race will be fantastic there for sure. And yeah, again. Perhaps with the limited practice that some of the guys have, the Mustangs might be quite tasty too. So it should be an interesting night. Obviously managing everything, getting loaded in, going for an advert break in the middle. We're not accustomed to it here in the Ricmotech series. It'd be just like a extended BSR night, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a combination of a BSR night and a Euro V8 supercar night rolled into one, really. Silverstone Southern, you were just mentioning it. We did host a BSR Rallycross event back in the winter of, maybe not last year, but 2 years ago, something like that. That was a very good race meeting. So hopefully it can continue here. Not the first time that the Ricmotech Sports Car Series has been to Zandvoort, though. Came here a few years ago. Remember that one? And it was quite a good evening as well. And it's a bumper grid too. As we move on to the grid for this one. Helps if I'm in the right room, so I can see the grid on the screen. But looking at the timing screen, no surprise to see who's starting on the pole for this one. Aeronom. And then moving on to second place on the grid, it is Brandon Whitworth. In terms of the qualifying times, you can see separated by half a second. Tyler Schiffler in third, Kevin Ford in fourth, then Leon Wright in fifth, Jeff Jacobs sixth, Stephen Thomas in seventh, Russ Ruddock 8th, Mike Ruddock 9th, and Jennifer McDonald in 10th. Some of these names you will have noticed from last week's Ricmotech World Challenge race that took place at Road Atlanta. Moving on back, 11th for Raymond Bader Jr., 12th Robert Brist, and Dexter Castro in 13th. Before moving on to the Mazda MX-5s, Rob Hartley starting on the pole there in the Madhouse Racing 2 car. Then Asbury Motorsports 1, Travis Fenke starting in second. Mike Dam, he was racing in a Porsche last week, very nearly won it at Road Atlanta, but he's here in the Mazdas today. Eric Violet in fourth. Fifth on the grid is Dries Nice with Tom Rathje, then Chris Torment in 20th place overall. And then towards the back of the grid we've got Dave Payton, Bobby Childs, Patty Anucci, missed out Jacob Beasley there in 22nd spot, then Geordie Fike in 25th, Lyndon McMurphy in 26th, then Mike Taylor, Derek Holland in 28th place, and then towards the back 29th Edgar Sanchinelli, Jeff Lovell in 30th, Mike Key in 31st, and Patrick Previnus in 32nd. Ryan Cobby is listed there, but he is the designated steward for the evening, so he'll be the one making all the tough decisions. He'll be the man in the middle. He'll be the key officiator of the race meeting today as the formation lap gets underway around the Zandvoort circuit, and a chance to see the circuit for the first time. We haven't got a track guide for this one, but coming into the hairpin here, one of the key overtaking points on the circuit, really one of the slowest parts of the circuit too, Alex, and you can see how it's cambered, and if you avoid that curb on the inside, you should be in good stead going on to one of the fastest parts of the circuit.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. I think it will be taking opportunity. You've got to kind of set it up at turn one. Can't quite finish the overtake there, then side by side all the way through that section into the hairpin, and then try and finish off around there. So very tight and narrow there, though. So a couple of big Mustangs trying to get through there is going to be interesting.
It is. Quick rundown of the championship standings going into this one. As we mentioned earlier, this is rounds 6 and 7 of the season tonight. So two different race meetings essentially, but just rolled into the same night. It's Team Bushvink's Aero Nom that currently sits at the top. No surprises there. It is a 21-point gap back to Driftline Stephen Thomas in second place in the championship. And just to put that into context in terms of grid positions, Aero Nom starts on the pole tonight. Stephen Thomas starts in 7th. Kevin Ford's in 3rd, then it's joint 4th, Jeff Jacobs for Jacobs Racing, and Flying Tortoise Motorsports 1, Russ Ruddock, on the same number of points. That's 122 points they're both sharing. Motorsports Tyler Schiffler is 6 points behind in 6th, Matt Catila 7th, No Hope Racing's Brandon Whitworth in 8th, just 2 points behind him on 107. Then Flying Tortoise Motorsports 2, Mike Ruddock on 88, and Reed Miller in 10th, with in the open category, just Raymond Bader Jr. Having a comfortable advantage over Jennifer McDonald. In the Mazdas, Mike Dam has a 27-point lead. No, a 17-point lead over Rob Hartley. And then Travis Fenke 3rd, Jim List 4th, Eric Violet 5th. And then in the open category in that class, it's Chris Torman with a 3-point advantage over Jacob Beasley and Jordan Walk. They're both on the same number of points. And then it's Jeff Lovell 4th and Derek Holland in 5th, as we're now into the chicane, another key overtaking point on the circuit. And if you're the car on the outside, Alex, it can quickly go in your favour because you'll be back on the inside again for this hairpin, and then it is a very quick run to the line. You've got the two right-handers plus the very long final corner, and then we're back onto the front straight again.
Yeah, the lap's very short itself, so they're going to tick by very, very quickly here. And Stephen Thomas into the pits. So don't know quite what happened to him, but he's going to be starting from the pit lane, it would seem, for this one.
Not too sure what's happened to him, but I'm sure he'll be hoping better things when we get to Silverstone. Car's coming through the final corner now in the Ford Mustang class. And then the Ford Mustang safety car will peel into the pit lane, and we'll get the evening underway. I didn't realise they've switched from the Porsche back to the Mustang, must say. That's the first time I've seen that in a while. But anyway, in it goes. And the green lights are on, and we're racing for round 6 of the season in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It's even start as we go into Tarzan, the first corner. It's come on the inside. And on the outside, it's Whitworth, but it looks like it's going to be Aeronom that gets the lead through the long right-hand 180-degree hairpin. And a good start from Tyler Schiffler as well to get himself up into second place. Now going into one of the tightest parts of the circuit, potentially overtaking spot 2. Crash for Kevin Ford, Alex.
Yeah, not the start he was looking for at all. That's a shame. And the MX-5s are away as well. Rob Hartley with a good start there, seems to have held on to the position.
Good start from both of them. Yeah, Hartley doing well. Schwenke in second, Dam in third. You can see as well from the timing tower on the left-hand side that we do have a fair number of Mazda MX-5s in the field today, 19 of them to be precise. Of course, Ryan Cobb acting as the steward here, so he won't be taking part in any of the races that we've got today, but he'll be the one making the decisions as the Mazdas stream through the Scheivlak right-hander and up to the master box. Box meaning corner in Dutch, we assume, where the circuit has been shortened since the Formula 1 circus used to come here back in the 80s. Now through turn 10, onto the back straight again towards the chicane. And Rob Hartley already breaking into a 3/4 of a second lead here as we reach speeds of 160 kilometres an hour before we get on the brakes here. And using quite a lot of curb as well on the opening lap of the race. No need for the drivers to wait for the tyres to get up to temperature or the pressures to build up. But either way, we are on our way here for the 40-minute race. Going around the final corner then, to complete the opening lap. The Mustangs have just done so. Aeronom has a 8/10 of a second advantage over Tyler Schiffler in second. Brandon Whitworth third, Leon Wright in fourth. Jeff Jacobs fifth, and then it's the two Ruddocks. Jonathan McDonald, Raymond Bader Jr. and then Kevin Ford rounding out the top 10 in the Mustang class at the end of the opening lap.
Yeah, even though there was the little accident there from Ford, he's still sort of going and relatively close to the sort of the pack. So I don't think it's over and done with for Kevin in this one. He'll be able to fight his way back, but has given on the opportunity to break away because Schiffler and Whitworth had a good battle that didn't quite see on the opening lap. But yeah. Dexter Castro is out. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Did he even take to the start? I'm not sure he did he?
He did.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
See it.
So let's see if we can see that. See what's happened there. I can't see anything on my event viewer, so I'm really not sure what's gone on there.
He might have just joined the session, Alex, maybe potentially.
Okay.
And then it would make sense for him to be right at the bottom of the order. May have got caught out with a slight change to the timing schedule. Usually the Ricmotech Sports Car Series gets underway about 1:15 GMT, but it's just hit 1 o'clock GMT now, so maybe a bit of a late straggler there. But either way, Tyler Schiffler already 1.4 seconds behind Aeronom at the end of lap 2 of the race here at Zandvoort, the home of Max Verstappen. I'm sure he's been in the headlines for some reason after what happened at Sunday in Brazil. We're going to be getting any of that after the race in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. I don't know if you saw the collision, Alex, at Interlagos on Sunday.
Yeah, certainly did, and I feel like I think Lewis summed it up quite nicely in the the sort of the podium room afterwards, kind of thing. Max had it, he didn't. Every right to overtake himself, but it was a dumb move from Ocon's part. But it was even more silly to just expect him to disappear. So yeah, I think while Max was really frustrated, and you could see that spill over with a bit of the handbags at 10 pace and shoving that they had on the weigh-in area, but. I think he learnt his lesson there, and I think next time he comes to lap some people, he'll perhaps leave about a car's width of room just to be sure he doesn't get wiped out again.
I found the social media reaction quite hilarious, really. A few weeks ago, Esteban Ocon was one of the best things since sliced bread, and now he's the worst driver in history, apparently, according to some of the people you see on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can say that all of us are in the same viewpoint here when it comes to the Verstappen-Ocon incident. Speaking to Andrew Woodhouse as well earlier. Yeah, I think. Sorry, Max. He probably agrees as well if he's watching, which he probably isn't. Lap 3 of the race, 5 minutes in. One thing we haven't talked about so far since the start of the race is the pit stop strategy. And that is going to be something interesting to watch, because even though this is effectively a super sprint, 40-minute race as opposed to the usual hour that we have here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, we are still going to have pit stops, and we're expecting to see them in the Mustangs about 14 to 15 laps into the race. Yes, just making sure I've read that twice. While the Mazdas, they'll get about 14 to 15 laps on a tank of fuel, and they're expecting the race itself to go about 21 laps for them. So it looks like the pit stop time itself hasn't changed, Alex. We're going to see them still coming in around the half-an-hour mark, but once they come out of the pits, they're only going to have about 6 or 7 minutes after that before we get to the checkered flag again.
Yeah, just a bit of a sprint really to the end, isn't it? So now I have to say, Harley's pushing. He's pushing hard because he's up to 1.3 seconds away. And there seems to be a bit of an urgency from Mike to get past Travis here, because for whatever reason Travis cannot keep up with Rob, and yeah, it's a chance of letting him run away with it already at the start here.
Good train though this. Schwenke in second, Dam in third. Chris Nice in fourth. Picks up an incident point on that lap as we ride on board with Mike Dam. Pulled off a stellar comeback at Road Atlanta last week in the World Challenge event. Just to set the scene for you there, he came into the pits, had a speeding violation, and then after he went and served that drive-through penalty for said speeding violation, he then crashed into somebody on the exit and then got a drive-through penalty, which meant he was a minute behind Kevin Ford. I think it was Kevin Ford, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
He came back out, and he had a spirited fight back. It took him a good hour or so to reduce the minutes or so deficit between himself and Kevin Ford, and we had a last lap battle for the lead, which Kevin Ford eventually won. It was remarkable the amount of how quick Mike Dam was around that circuit. He was almost taking a second a lap out of Kevin Ford on that occasion. Just wasn't able to get the lead by the time we got to the end, but he's trying to get second place here as we come across the line.
Proving how difficult it is to overtake at Zandvoort. Look, the straight short, you know, it's even not getting quite enough of a run. Very, very unusual to say that, but a better lap I think for Travis that time. Somewhat stifled Hartley's sort of charge away, and just was a fraction quicker that last time, so maybe just feeling a little bit more comfortable, even though he's under a lot of pressure from Dam here, and can start to work his way back towards Rob at the very, very sharp end there.
Positions on the left-hand side of the timing tower reflecting their place in class. Overall, this is the battle for 13th place as we go through the long right-hander here, back over the top of the hill. You would not know the Grand Prix circuit existed, from what I've been told, since the Formula 1 circus left here in the 80s. I think it's a golf course now, where the old Grand Prix circuit used to go.
Oh, there you go.
We're near the sea as well, from memory too, so I don't know whether iRacing has modelled that in terms of the sea breeze, but yeah, through the final corner come the Mustangs. This is the battle for 6th and 7th. Two people that should know each other very well. Sorry, it's 7th and 8th. It's Kevin Ford, who's on a comeback trail after his spin at the start of the race. Don't know if Mike Ruddock's going to give him too much of an issue. No, he doesn't. And the Flintstone Racing Ford Mustang goes up the inside into Tarzan and through into 7th place. Good paint scheme, I must say, on Kevin Ford's Ford Mustang. The blue stripes down the side of the bonnet and good shade of blue.
Yeah, just a bit different, isn't it? I spotted it earlier and thought that was a bit good. And I wondered if for a second there was some paints that hadn't been updated or something like that, so I restarted trading paints. And actually, there was a couple that hadn't quite updated. So yeah, but that one stuck and did.
Yeah, I didn't know whether he'd had it for the whole season, because this is the first time I've had trading paints on for this series. As it looked like I could have been drafted in to be doing the streaming here, but alas, Alex was able to turn up all fine. So yeah, but it's good to see the various paints that we've got here. And Mike Ruddock here in his Flying Tortoise Motorsports 2 car, doing well in 8th place, a position gain of him so far. Here's 2nd place Tyler Shiflett in the Meh Motorsports car. No surprises that Aero Nom has dashed off into the distance. The gap between Shiflett and Nom is just over 3 seconds, but the gap between Shiflett and Whitworth in 3rd is only 0.6 of a second, and then another 3/4 back to Leon Wright in 4th. So battle for best of the rest really is on here. This is I was watching this review earlier today. Shades of the 2011 F1 season really. Sebastian Vettel, Aero Nom playing the role of Sebastian Vettel, vanishing off into the distance, and then a titanic scrap for 2nd place. And hopefully we'll see this during the duration of both the races here at Zandvoort and here at Silverstone Southern later on in the evening. Now back to the Mazdas as Eric Violet is chasing down Tom Rathje in front and Pasquale Iannucci behind him.
Unusual to see Iannucci sort of way down where he is at the minute. You know, 7th place. He's normally right there with his teammate, isn't he? So damn, you know, usually they're pretty close. So
yeah,
I've just got to work it forward. It is a different track, though. You know, a lot of people don't run here very often. You kind of, you know, I think I kind of expected Nom to be very quick here, just because there's that sort of, you know, European background. So you know, some of the others perhaps haven't done too many races here, and it is quite challenging until you get completely up to speed with it.
There are some similarities. Oh, there's Breeze Nice went off the track, I think, a little bit further up the road. I saw his name flash up in red. There's some things that you can draw from some of the circuits in North America here, especially this section here, almost shades of Virginia International Raceway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go over the top of the hill, yeah. I want to say it's a mini Virginia International Raceway with some of the corners that we've got here, but out of the hairpin we go. That is, looking at the track map, that is turn 7. Now into the master turn, that's turn 8. Now turn 9 here. New drivers picking a few incident points here and there. You would have seen that Travis Schwenke's name was briefly in red. And turn 10.
Problem for Patrick in the background as well. It's just he's gone off.
He's towed back to the pits too, I believe. Here's a replay.
Let's see what happened here. Oh, hit the curb, didn't he? Yeah, boff. So, not at all what he wanted to do.
Curbs are brutal here. Most modern circuits that we go to on iRacing, the curbs are definitely not like that at all. You can also see that Leon Wright's come into the pits. I don't know whether he's hit anything, but the car looked pretty damaged when we saw it briefly on that camera angle. But there isn't anything in the event viewer to say that he has hit anything or he's gone off the track. In fact, there is potentially, Alex, there is a Leon Wright went off the track in the event viewer. So we may be able to go back and have a look at a replay of what happened to him here. Might explain something. It is. Oh yeah, it is a spin.
A hard hit too. And when it's like that, you just need to hope and pray it's a, you know, square on hit. But if he jumped to the pits, I'm guessing it's not. And he's got some suspension damage there.
Looks like he's Looks like he's back out on the. Oh no, he's definitely not back on the circuit. Yeah. Of course, the worry also is that you could, if you hit the front of the car the wrong way, that the engine would then overheat or maybe pop entirely. But yeah, looks like Leon Wright is back out on the circuit now. No, he isn't. Looks like, I thought he was then for a moment, but yeah, he's still in the pits now, and I think his best chance of success tonight will probably be in the UK at Silverstone rather than here at Zandvoort. Here's the battle for second place then again in the Mazda MX-5 class. Jeff Jacobs has also come into the pits in the Ford Mustang class, so it looks like strategy is the roll of the dice is really going on in the strategy. It looks like that if that is a scheduled stop for Jeff Jacobs, that could be he's hit the magic number in terms of filling it up to the brim with fuel and then getting to the end from there. So we'll see if that works. But for now, Benke, Dam and Nice all coming through the final corner. All three very experienced drivers in this car. No line to complete another lap. In comparison, it's very, very similar, the lap times that we're getting here today across the two classes. Alex, 47.7 for Aero Nom, the only driver really to be lapping in the 47s, and the Mazda MX-5 is doing 51. So they're not going to be catching them at the rates they would have done at a track like Road Atlanta, where we were last week in the World Challenge.
Yeah, no. And I think that may be why some people will take this alternate strategy call, you know, rather than going through the traffic or anything like that, come in early, and you probably haven't got to deal with it quite a lot when it's a huge pack. So, yeah. Maybe we'll have to see how that works out for Jeff right now, because obviously he's right at the back of that Mustang class, but it might come through decent for him. Still no chance for Dam to get past Travis here, and that gap is up to 2.9 seconds at the front now. So we don't often see a driver pull away, but yeah, Hartley's going for it here.
Indeed he is. I think if Brian Holmes was here today, he probably would have done well here too, it being a European circuit. Edgar Sanchinelli has just been in the pits. He's got going again in the Frito Sport racing car. You would have seen that just at the bottom of the screen. So a pit stop there in the Mazda MX-5 class. A good run there, else to the exit the chicane. Now into the Cumho bend, and the Ari Lyondike bend, the final corner on the circuit, as Aero Nom has dropped down the order. He's no longer in the lead, that's for sure. At least that's what it says on my timing screen. Into the pits comes Mike Dam from third place in class here in the Mazda MX-5 category. Aero Nom is still dropping down the order.
No, he's fine on mine, so I don't know quite what's going on there. Yeah, a lot of people jumped into the pits there, followed Dam in. So, yeah, like you say, I think they've reached their number as well. So I just come in, and again, I feel like Dam probably because he feels being held up, I would say. And makes sense to get in, try and get ahead of Travis and see if he can start pulling in Robert somehow. Battle though on screen for second place in GS.
It is, yeah, this is still second place. This is Tyler Shiflett v Brandon Whitworth. You can see the various pit stops in the Mazda MX-5s unfolding at the bottom of the screen. You can see they're all very, very similar pit stop times. 14.4, 14.7. Easily coming out in the pits now, 23.7, slightly slower stop for him. Now, this is going to be interesting now, because obviously the Mazdas, in fact most of the Mazdas have stopped, but now the Ford Mustangs are going to be having to negotiate them as lap traffic in a moment, as we go into Tarzan Bend. The brake discs glowing at the front of that car, and into the pits comes Kevin Ford and Russ Ruddock. So it looks like those two have hit their pit number. Also the other Ruddock in too, that's Michael Ruddock. So 3 Ford Mustangs coming in. Also Leon Wright, you can see they're still in the pits. So it looks like they're trying to get the pit stops out of the way as quick as they can, as opposed to what we thought would happen with them leaving it right to the very last minute. Yeah,
a complete reverse, isn't it, from what we predict. So let's see what Nom does. I think that he might just stick with a traditional, just stay out there. He was building up that lead anyway, so might just stay out. Perhaps time that when he comes across a big gaggle or some traffic or something like that, that he can jump in and avoid.
Bit of damage to the front of Tyler Shiflett's car as well as we go on board. Coming back from the rear of the Meh Motorsports car, you can see the rear spoiler, and behind that, Brandon Whitworth in the No Hope Racing car. Last time around, it was Whitworth that was about a tenth of a second quicker than Tyler Shiflett. And I wonder if this might be the lap where they come into the pits. All of the Mazdas have not stopped. We do have a few that are currently circulating that haven't come into the pits, and we'll wait and see if they do so in a moment. But see if any of these two come in as well. We saw Kevin Ford and the two Ruddocks come in on the previous lap as Shiflett runs very wide. Aeronom, our race leaders, come into the pits. Oh, he's out of control almost, Alex. You can see him yanking on the wheel. You can hear the tyre screeching as well. Both second and third coming into the pits too. Shiflett and Whitworth now coming down the pit lane.
Made sense, you're right. It was massively holding onto it, wasn't he? Giving it some all the way through there. So, yeah, it made sense for him to come in to try and prevent that run from Whitworth. And, yeah, he might be able to hold on to this. Oh, struggled to get into the box somewhat. Bit of a steep angle. There and on my way. Side by side with one of the MX-5s there, but that's all good. Is there going to be a change? Yes, there is. Whitworth gets out before Tyler Shiflett. Tyler, he was just, yeah, he came in a bit steep. He wasn't happy with that angle, and I think that's Jeff Jacobs that's gone by as well. Of course, Jeff was the first one to pit in this class, so that's worked out nicely for Jeff. He gets himself up and into third place.
Good old undercut. We don't often see that.
No.
In series these days, especially not in F1 anymore, with the way Pirelli have gone after they began their time in F1. But yeah, Aeronom, no surprises there. I think he's even extended his lead now to 8 seconds over Brandon Whitworth in second, but now it's Jeff Jacobs in third, Tyler Shiflett in fourth, with Kevin Ford in fifth. Then it's Russ Ruddock in sixth, with Rob Hartley mixing it in and amongst the Mustangs here. He's going to get overtaken by Michael Ruddock in a moment, but as he hasn't pitted, and it looks like he's doing a completely different strategy to what everyone else is for now, he's going to be technically racing these Mustangs for position.
Yeah, and I tell you what, some of these lap times are not far off on race pace as well. So this is not going to be straightforward for Michael to get by, and yeah, this to me seems like one of the circuits where it really is more about the cornering, and the MX-5 is so good.
Mikey Key had an issue, Alex. He's showing up on the timing screen as jumps to the pits. He's got back going again, but what's going on there? It's probably my timing screen again, but yeah, here is.
Brist had a problem as well, actually. Yeah. So there's a couple of little issues. Let's see, have a look, see what happened to Robert.
Them leaving the pits.
That's just a false positive, I think, isn't it? Ah, there we go. Let go on the brakes, just as so a bit of a close call. So.
Rob Hartley's in. By the way, the leader in the Mazda MX-5 class coming into the pits. He is also joined by Travis Schwenke and Dries Nice. But this is going to be interesting to see, because obviously Mike Dam was the one that left that battle to come in earlier, and here he is on the circuit. He's just gone through the chicane. He's coming into the final two corners now, and I wonder if he has been able to use that undercut to potentially get himself up into second position. I don't think he's going to be able to get the lead off Rob Hartley, but he might be able to trouble Travis Schwenke and Dries Nice as he comes through the final corner now.
Yeah, more than anything, he'll just hope for a bit of slipstream, won't he? He's get back in there. This is going to be awfully close. There's Travis, you can see him in the pit lane. I think actually it's not worked out for him at all, and if anything he's lost a place, because Dries Nice put himself ahead of Schwenke. So yeah, backfired big time for Dam there, and yeah, he's going to have to do the hard work on the circuit if he's going to catch up his championship rival today.
It is. Gap is just under a second between them. Hopefully, he'll be hoping that these two start getting involved in a scrap, then he'll be able to take full advantage of it. It is a very short lap, as we've been talking about around this circuit. About 1 minute, even despite that, still about 1:48 in the Mustangs and 1:51 in the Mazda MX-5s. But I'd still say it's one of our shorter laps that we go to on the calendar. Look at Mike Dam looking at the inside. Remember James Thompson and Tom Coronel having a crash here in the World Touring Cars back in 2007, but no problems for these two. Down to the back straight. No need for the DRS as we go past the DRS activation point.
Well, I feel like if Travis could, he would right now. Just having a little look. Nothing happening, and then all of a sudden, Dam is back into this battle.
I don't know if the McLarens come here, Alex, but I do remember the Williams coming here in the days of the World Championship Series and the Road Pro 2. This is close. Here goes Three's nice. Here comes Mike Dam. We did say at the start of this lap that you would be hoping for these two to start battling and come to fruition. Dam might even try and get up the inside of both of them going into the first corner, into Tarzan. Gio Villeneuve had a whole load of issues back here in 1979. Ended up driving around with freewheels, I think, for a little bit in his Ferrari, as Schwenke, Nice and Dam all go through into the hairpin.
Yep, good from Travis, good move. Put that pressure on pretty much all lap long. Dam had a little look to see if he could follow him through. Couldn't quite pull it off. That was what we were saying. If you can't get that move done, kind of got to try and stay side by side so you get the opportunity through the hairpin, but he wasn't able to do it this time, Dam. But yeah, going to be a good little battle, I'm sure. All three pretty even on pace out there right now.
Yeah, last time around, it was Schwenke that did he did an outlap on that last lap, same to Vries Nice, but Mike Dam did a 52.8. But looking at the sector times, it all has been pretty even. Here's the battle for 8th and 9th in the Mazda MX-5 class, and it involves one of our biggest movers in the field so far. That is Bobby Childs, who sits in 9th place. He has gained 5 spots since the start of the race. Granted that maybe some of them aren't actual positions.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't
Mustangs that have fallen by the weight, yeah.
Yeah, I just brought the graphic up, and of course it says up 2, but that's in his own class. Just happens to be so many retirements in the others as well. So yeah, three drivers out already in GS. Oh, good little look. Maybe can't quite finish it off.
Oh, through there for now. The D2D Motorsports blue car. That doesn't confuse things at all with it being
pink. Yeah,
in pink, yes. But either way, he's trying to get past the CT racing car to come through the final corner into the inside. May get it done actually into Tarzan. He should be if he's late enough on the brakes. Bobby Childs trying to get past Chris Torman. He really does. So Bobby Childs into 18th place overall, 8th place in class. R88 up 6 places altogether. Next up on the list is Guglielmucci. He's 4.6 seconds away with 12 minutes to go here. And here he is, trying to get past Dave Payton in the JSP Motorsports car. Just a third of a second separating these two as they go through the S's, through the slot, through the Rob slow to make a turn, and through the Scheivlak bend here, then back over the crest and into turn 8, the master kink, or the master turn here. Iannucci just not close enough to look up the inside, but he has got a good opportunity coming into the chicane if he can try and set him up here. But it looks like the Payton is able to get to the racing line and keep the gap at around 0.4 of a second. So I don't think this is going to be the lap for Guglielmucci to get by, but he has been lapping slightly slow on that last lap than Payton. He did a 53.6 compared to Payton's 53.3, but on this lap there are a few sectors where Guglielmucci has been slightly quicker, so if the gap gets any smaller as we approach the final 10 minutes of this opening race of the day, with Silverstone Southern coming up after this one.
The crazy thing, there's only 10 minutes left actually. This one, not long really. Getting to the business end. Quick look, see what's going on with our race leaders. I mean, they haven't had an awful lot of coverage because they've just literally from the get-go they've just kind of run away with it. You know, not at least this man really been very, very dominant. I mean, it's a short circuit, it's a short race, and he's 11.5 seconds in the lead at this point. What a great performance, and we've got 10 minutes to go.
Done a fantastic job so far, Renom. Amazingly, there's only 21 cars. There's still 21 cars on the lead lap around this 2.6 mile circuit. You wouldn't think that it's same length. Well, it's pretty much the same length as Daytona and Talladega. There's Rob Hartley, our Mazda MX-5 leader. He has a 4-second advantage over Travis Schwenke. Not as big of a gap as what Renom has over second place in the Mustang class, but as Alex mentioned earlier on, we don't often see gaps this big in the Mazdas. So quite an achievement here. And once again, I think it's getting pretty close to second place, just as Alex goes to it. Travis Schwenke, Dries Nice and Mike Dam still going at it. Dam has really closed up on car 007, but will he be able to make the move before we get to the end of the race here, as we go through the left-hander, using all the curbs and a bit on the exit. The Formula Renault race here a long time ago, made a bit of a fool of myself when I tried to do a spin turn in the Formula Renault. Didn't go at all well.
Not a great exit there for Dries, so maybe might get a bit of a run here. It's always difficult when the car ahead has still got some slipstream, and that's exactly what's happened. Start out, he's kind of got to go for it late on the brakes, but yeah, has a little look and then just ducks back in. He's probably just spotting his apex, if anything, there, or his braking marker.
Well, there's and Travis Schwenke senses an opportunity to break away a little bit. The gap is now 0.8 of a second, as you can see on the battle graphic, between second and third. Dries Nice in the green and black 007 car, and then back to 93, Mike Dam in the Crypto G orange racing car. Dam always has that number 93, and he always driving for that team as well. Kevin Ford's dropping down the order, Alex. Bobby Childs has also gone off the circuit too, so oh, there's a car with a lot of smoke coming out of it. That's poor Bobby Childs. He was the driver that had gained the most places overall, but he's now coming to the pits with smoke billowing from car 88. It looks like he's touring at this point anyway, and I don't know if some smoke is going to start coming out of it. Or there goes the smoke.
Trying to find where it all happened, but I can't seem to see the incident.
Yeah, there's quite a few off tracks for Bobby Charles as he tries to come back to the pits. So I don't know whether it's the first one, or maybe it was a downshift that went wrong, or
could be. Yeah, because it's not showing. So that's a shame, because he was obviously having that battle earlier on.
Credit to Bobby Charles as well. You can see there on the livery, he's sporting the Movember team charity.
Got a three-way battle for third. Ford working his way back towards these guys, so it's been a pretty impressive performance from him, considering that spin on that one.
Really is, yeah. Kevin Ford has really been doing the business. So we've got Tyler Shiflett with the Ricky Bobby Cougar livery there from Talladega Nights, with Jeff Jacobs with a very good paint scheme. I'm just trying to work out what the animal is, actually, as we go into the chicane. You can definitely see the gnashes of teeth. But he's going to be taking home the final spot on the podium here with just over 6.5 minutes to go. Kevin Ford might fancy his chances of taking third place here. He's definitely lining up Jeff Jacobs, and he may even get the position going into the final corner through the Ori Lyondike bends, the final corner on this 2.6 mile circuit. Kevin Ford is through into fourth place with not too many laps to go. He's now going to try and chase after after Tyler Shiflett. The gap is 0.8 of a second.
A lot of respect between the two admins there. Plenty of room given. Once Kevin got that kind of run. Yeah, so he's actually broken back completely even now, so net gain of absolute or loss for 0 for Ford, so at least he's sort of got back to where he started from. So if you get this one place, this extra one spot from Tyler, then I think you consider that a relative successful race, you know, a podium as well. What could it have been? Oh, Jacobs just on the grass a little bit.
Yeah, Kevin Ford was the hunted last week at Road Atlanta. Here he's the hunter. He's trying to take that final spot on the podium away from Tyler Shiflett, who has got a bit of traffic coming up in front of him. That is the Mazda MX-5 of, I believe, Mike Taylor. Could be Derek Collins in the 80, not too sure what the timing screen's telling me of that one. It's car 61, so it is Mike Taylor. And I wonder how difficult that car will be to lap. It looks like they won't be able to get to him before they get to the chicane. But Mike Taylor is good enough to get out of the way.
He sort of slowed down a bit, didn't he? And actually ended up kind of in the way.
I think it cost them any time.
Be a bit disappointed. They got held up a little bit there, but wasn't a great deal looking at the battle box. That sort of time stayed roughly about the same, about 6 to 7 tenths of a second.
His final corner now then, onto the front straight. Tyler Shiflett, can't tell if the car's crabbing at all as they come across the front straight. It's moving about in a very strange way as he gets on the brakes into Tarzan here, car 24. Kevin Ford last time around did a 50.1, half a second quicker than Tyler Shiflett, so we are riding on board with him, so we'll get to see firsthand whether he's nursing any damage. Looks like he is, Alex, actually.
Yeah,
we'll see it as now.
Quite right, does he? Turning a lot more to the left. This will be where we'll tell.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, big time. So I didn't see where he got that from, but yeah, done well to continue. And with it, I'd say that was from earlier on in the race. That's been very impressive to keep it going, keep it on the podium. But all of a sudden, yeah, under the cosh right now.
It's probably the reason why Brandon Whitworth's been able to pull away, really.
Yeah.
Well, it gaps 5 seconds there. But now Kevin Ford fancies his chances of getting the final spot on the podium. Shiflett doing everything he can to stay in front. He looks like he's slowly working his way around the problem. He's gone off now. And it looks like the time might be up for Tyler Shiflett in terms of keeping hold of this third place. The Mazda MX-5 in front's not going to help. Kevin Ford is able to get past the Jacobs race, the Motorsports car. Flintstone Racing's Kevin Ford is into third place with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it doesn't look fun on the brakes, does it? That's the key thing, I think. When he's braking, it just looks like it's very, very lively indeed.
The final corner, you can see the Mazda come into its own through there. And it looks like it's almost quicker than the Ford Mustangs, but then the acceleration and the top end speed of the Mustang kicks in. They're able to stretch their legs a little bit with 2 minutes to go. Be interesting to see if Tyler Shiflett can fancy his chances of coming back at Kevin Ford here, but either way, Ford is now in third place. Shiflett fourth. The top 10 in the Ford Mustangs is rounded out by Jeff Jacobs, the two Ruddocks, with Russ ahead of Michael. And Jennifer McDonald in 8th and Raymond Bader Jr. in 9th, with Rob Hartley in the Mazdas in 10th overall. 10th place in class is currently getting held by Robert Brist. Here's the battle for second place again in the Mazda MX-5s on board with Mike Dam in the Crypto G orange car. He is the third car in this train.
And a bit deep there.
Yeah, he did.
Sort of hampered his exit there, so he's not really going to have a chance to have a run down into turn 1. See, he's taking some of that inside sort of curb in there. It's funny actually, 'cause it just helps the car rotate. You just hook it on that, so like a bit of extra camber.
This will probably be the penultimate lap. Don't know whereabouts Aeronom is on the circuit. Yeah, this should be the penultimate lap with just over a minute to go here at Zandvoort. Jeff Jacobs in 5th place in the Ford Mustangs with a few laps to go. Boy, was in a bit of trouble then for a moment, but looks like it's all good. So it looks like it's very difficult for any of the Mazdas to get moves done around this part of the circuit just because it's so quick. We'll see now as we go on board with Mike Dam what kind of speeds they're getting as they go into the right hander here at the bottom of the hill. And immediately start climbing sharply back up it again. At 150 kilometers an hour really in the Mazda MX-5s as they head left and then back to the right. Get the curve on the inside. this long right-hander, and then back on the brakes again into turn 9.
Blaze is just sort of throwing it in, isn't he? And waiting for the car to sort of stick before getting back on the gas. Always the challenge around here.
He's nice, his exit's so good. He pulls a good tenth of a second or so on Mike Dam, but before they even get to, before he even starts pulling him in through the slipstream, and that's what's kind of keeping him ahead for now. Clock has reached 0. There is Aaron on. He is on the final lap of. He is on his final lap of the race. Those Mazdas will get another lap in before he gets there. But we always speak about how good he is in this series, and once again he's proving his credentials in this series. 5 starts, 5 wins, 100% record intact. Going to continue that now as he heads through the final corner to pick up the checker flags. He's still got to do it in one more race when we get to Silverstone Southern in a moment's time. But over the line, checker flag in the air. Aeronom wins the round 6 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Zandvoort. Rob Hartley's got another 2/3 of a lap to go, but this is where it's at, Alex. The freeway battle for second place in the Mazda MX-5 class.
Yep, now or nothing for all of these guys, really. They all need to go for it if they're going to try and get something out of this one.
Top of the hill, the right-hander. It's almost Hawthorne bends at Brands Hatch here, but then we start climbing back uphill again. Mike Dam almost putting 2 wheels onto the grass on the exit there. He's pushing so much to try and carry the speed around. Is there a little look? Thinks about it, but would almost go end in contact there. You can see a few of the Mazda MX-5s are already taking the checker flag. The likes of Torman, Fike, Beasley, McMurphy, Taylor and Holland all crossing the line. But there's still plenty of time to go here. Rob Hartley coming into the final chicane. Can tell you that in the Mustangs, Whitworth has finished in 2nd, Ford 3rd, Shiflett 4th and Jacobs in 5th. So Tyler Shiflett didn't lose any extra places between when he got passed by Kevin Ford and the end of the race. Hartley is now going to come through the final corner and take the win in the Mazda MX-5 class. Pretty close to 2nd though.
Great job from Rob there.
First
Travis
win
is
of the
going to get
season.
2nd quite comfortably in the end. Looks like Mike's challenge. Oh no, has got him ahead of Drees. Yeah, so we missed that on the final one.
Rob Hartley's first win of the season in the class. Mike Dam had won 2. Travis Fenke had won 1. Bonnie Nucci had also won one of the class victories along with Trees Nice. So this is the first time this season that Rob Hartley's been able to pick up that win. Trying to find the overtake so we can play it back to you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
I can't see it. I can't see it on there.
No, me neither. Strange.
I've been done so late on that maybe it's because the checker flag got waved.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that's
so the
right,
overtakes
so,
counted.
Yeah. Alright, mess. Oh well. Okay.
Yeah, without doing a full-on rewind job, I think it's going to be tough to find that last gasp overtake in the Mazda MX-5 class. As the cars return back to the pit lane now and get on the short flight or the short ferry journey from here in Zandvoort to the UK. I'll run you through the finishing order. First race of the day here, round 6 of the season, round 7 to come after the break. Aeronom wins by 15 seconds. Dominating display from him. Second for Brandon Whitworth. Kevin Ford recovered brilliantly. He was last in class after 2 corners. Finished in 3rd place in the end. Tyler Shiflett 4th. Jeff Jacobs 5th. 6th for Russell Ruddock and Mike Ruddock. Jennifer McDonald. Raymond Bader Jr. in 9th. 10th Robert Brist. Over a minute behind. Then 8 laps down Steve Thomas. Leon Wright 15 laps down and Dexter Castro having issues during the race. Not sure where he even started, Dexter Castro, to be fair, so that's what happened to the 13 cars in the GS category. Over to the ST. Rob Hartley wins by 4.9 seconds over Travis Fenke. Mike Dam got the Crypto G Orange car into third place with a run to the line over car 007 Dries Nice for Spud Racing. Eric Violet finished in 5th, led home the second group of cars with Pasquale Nucci in 6th, Dave Payton in 7th, and then all these cars one lap down because they all took the checkered flag earlier. Chris Torment, Jordy Fike in 9th, Jacob Beasley in 10th, Lyndon McMurphy in 11th, Mike Taylor 12th, Derek Holland in 13th, 14th, Jeff Lavelle finishing in 15th, Edgar Sancinelli in 16th, Bobby Childs had the blown engine in a D2D Motorsports blue car, and then Tom Rathjay down in 18th place with Patrick Previnus 15 laps down as well. And obviously Ryan Cobb, today's steward from Florida.
I've got guys wanting to have a quick little chat with us in the interval, so let's grab them in quickly. Quick little short one. Eric, congratulations. Another victory chalked up there. Looked like you like this circuit. We're very comfortable around here.
Yeah, thanks. I think at least the one lap pace was so much better than the others. In the beginning, I just used the tires up in the first 3 laps. So yeah, after that, I think the gap was a little bit smaller with the others. But yeah, at that time, I was already out of the draft.
Yeah. Challenges around this circuit. I mean, it's quite a narrow circuit, but I mean, obviously, I know you didn't really have anyone to battle with at the time. But how was traffic and things like that around here?
No, it's pretty much cambered, positive camber, so it's very easy track. I think maybe the downhill right-hander, the fast one, you can go in the grass there if you miss it. So in the last turn too.
Silverstone Southern coming up then, again a very different circuit in a little over 20 minutes time. So yeah, first time we've done a back-to-back in one evening. Should be an interesting race there as well.
Yeah, it will be a completely different track. There's no camber, there is very high chicanes, and yeah, it will throw the car around, so had to be very careful in the traffic too.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations again, mate. We'll see you we'll see you at Silverstone in a move.
Yeah, thanks guys.
And on there, making it 6 wins out of 6 today. We're joined by Brandon Whitworth as well, the runner-up today. How did that race go from your perspective? It looked like a pretty quiet one out there towards the end after Tyler Shiflett picked up his damage.
Yeah, I didn't run into too much. Just a little bit of Miata traffic, and I just sort of took it easy. I was actually kind of tight on fuel too, so I'm glad there was no one else around.
Yeah, what kind of surprises do these 40-minute races throw up for you, really? It looks like the drivers in the field today had 2 different options, either pit early or pit slightly later on. What was the one you decided to go for today?
Actually, right there before I pit, I was thinking about pitting before Shiflett did, but then we ended up pitting at the same time about halfway through, so worked out.
Silverstone coming up next then. Completely different circuit, really. Not too much in the way of elevation at Silverstone. You think you'll be able to adjust quickly in the 20-minute practice session that we've got coming up?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Well, I won't be as fast as Arrow, but who is? And I'll just do the best I can. What else can you do, right?
Yeah, we look forward to seeing what's going to happen. Cheers for taking the time to speak to us, Brandon, and yeah, go and get ready for the start of the practice session. And we're quickly there. We've also got Rob Hartley that is in the interview room, the winner in the Mazda MX-5 class today. And as far as Mazda MX-5 races go, Rob, that was a pretty convincing victory at the front.
Hey there, Rob. We're not catching you at the minute, mate.
Hey, you got me?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I needed a good race there. Mike's got a chance at running away with this thing if I don't put together some good finishes.
Yeah, first win of the season, in fact, and a good opportunity to make it 2 when we go to Silverstone in a little while.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do the same thing there. Put in a good quality lap and get a good start and hopefully get another top finish there. So we can eat into that Mike Dam championship points.
Unusual to see the MX5 field. You know, you were able to actually drive away. So we're so used to seeing these massive slipstream trains here. So I did sort of allude at the start of the race, it might be the case around there, around here. And yeah, just absolutely on it from, like you say, from that one. It was a great drive.
Yeah, it's so hard to break away in these cars, and I could tell Mike was getting a little antsy when I got about 2 seconds out, and then him and Travis had a little battle there, and that finally let me break away. But like I said, I needed a good run and finally got it.
Congratulations, mate. We'll see you at Silverstone in about 10-15 minutes' time.
Thanks, guys.
Bob Hartley, our Mazda MX-5 winner. And yeah, make sure you stick with us on the channel. The next race is due to start in just over half an hour's time, but before that, we'll have a practice session and a qualifying session as well to determine the grid for round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It is effectively a whole new race meeting, so get a coffee, stay up for us a little bit longer, and we'll be back in a moment here at Silverstone, round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. We will see you on the other side of the English Channel.
chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMeritt at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line. chair of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Would it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back. We've now arrived in the UK. Welcome to Silverstone for round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Another 40-minute race in the offing here. But first, before we delve into what's going on in the qualifying session, here is a rundown of what it takes to tackle this southern layout of the Silverstone circuit.
Welcome everyone to the southern course of Silverstone, located here in Northamptonshire, England. Great to have you with us today as we provide you your track guide in the Ford Mustang around this 2.1 mile very high-speed road course. Silverstone's first ever racing event took place on October 2nd, 1948. The course surrounded a World War II abandoned airfield and was 3.67 miles long at the time. It was outlined by nothing but bales of hay and strings of rope around the edges of the course. The event's first winner was Luigi Villarisi in his 1948 Maserati. Well, let's begin our track guide around this legendary road course, the southern portion of Silverstone GP. As we head down this little short straightaway here, you'll notice this walkway above us. That's actually the start-finish line. As we come down into turn 1, this is a very tight radius here to the left, right back to the right into what's known as club. Back to throttle very quickly, get a good run up through the gears here, get some good acceleration, use up every bit of that track exit. Heading down into the chicane here, this will take us into Abbey, which typically you would go left here, but we're taking a right and back to the left through this very tight section. And then it widens back out again, gives drivers an opportunity for more overtaking. Really very few spots here to overtake other drivers and get those passes done, as you'll see right here. We're going to come straight through Ireland here. Pretty much a straight shot, very little room for two cars there. Now, as we head down into Beckett's, get a good run through the apex of Beckett's, up into Chapel Curve, back to the left, and eventually out onto Hanger Straight. Nice long straightaway here, good opportunity to pick up some speed, good slipstream here on this straightaway, and probably the best opportunity for overtaking. This will bring us down into Stowe, down through the gears, another big carousel corner, but it tightens on radius on exit, so you really got to set up that throttle input at apex to get a good run down to the start-finish line. There you go, quick lap around Silverstone Southern here. Thank you again for being with us.
As always, to the guys at the Ricmotech Sports Car Series for providing the track guide there, and I'll bring in Alex again. And yeah, it's the Silverstone Southern layout. We can see some of the shots of the circuit. That's turn 1 there, that chicane, and it's going to be interesting. That's not turn 1 actually, is it? Really, it's a club that's going to be the first corner. So
Yep.
it's not going to be too much of a run up for these guys when they get going when the safety car comes in. So club. Could be pretty interesting when a whole lot of Mustangs and Mazdas go into them.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be very tight and compact through there, but it'll spread out pretty quickly, I feel. Yeah, very different layout, as you can see on the screen right now, to what we know as modern day Silverstone, that's for sure. But yeah, so just the southern half of the old circuit. Yeah, so swing it right at Abbey, and then yeah, rejoin back at out of Chapel, I think, the final part of the SS.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting because most of what we use here on this southern section has now been turned into the Grand Prix circuit at Silverstone. Of course, now on the Grand Prix circuit we do go right at Abbey like this southern layout does. Also, Alex, news of the updating of the new cars that are coming to iRacing soon. We've got a Formula 3, an F3 Euro Series car. We've also got a Formula Renault 3.5 coming as well.
Has that been officially released? Has that been announced?
Been announced. It's just not here yet, is it?
Well,
I've heard.
Okay, yeah. So it has been announced officially. You are right. 3 years ago or whatever like that, but yeah, I think whether it's going to be in the next build is all rumours at this point, isn't it? There's lots of rumours. I've seen it on websites and all sorts of stuff and Twitter sphere and everything. So yeah, but yeah, that'd be nice. Two new open wheel cars. You know me, I love the open wheel. So F3, if that's what they're going to make the Pro Series, I think it might lure me back. I might actually jump in. I think I might actually go for it. Yeah.
I'd say not the biggest fan of driving in open wheel cars, but I'll still see if I can give it a go nonetheless. I'm sure there'll be various series started as a result of if they do make it into the next build.
I got to defend my title after all, haven't I? At the end of
I take it you've already been knocked out of the World Championship then after winning the Road Pro Series.
That's it. Well, I only did 2 races, didn't I, in the World Championship this year. Just didn't have the time, unfortunately. So, yeah, you've either got to be committed to that or not bother, kind of thing. So I was like, well, I can only do a half schedule, so I'll just take it easy and help the guys. And yeah, fortunately, there's a couple of changes in rules which will allow me to re-enter at the end of when it comes back around again.
Cool. Well, that brings us nicely to the end of the qualifying session. Again, if you're just joining us, another 40-minute race to go along with what happened earlier at Zandvoort. And look how close it is here, and surprisingly, it's not Aero Nom on the pole. We were expecting him to once again set the timing screens alight, but it's Kevin Ford that's going to be starting on the pole here with Nom in second, just 9 thousandths of a second between them. Then it's Brandon Whitworth in third. We were speaking to some of the drivers after the race. They said they had no hope of catching Nom, but the No Hope Racing car and everybody else looks like they might just have a chance here. Russell Ruddock in fourth, Jeff Jacobs fifth, then it's Leon Wright, Mike Ruddock, Jonathan McDonald in eighth, Ruben Bader Jr. in ninth, and 10th is Tyler Shiflett. Stephen Thomas starting in 11th, and then into the Mazda MX-5s. It's Travis Schwenke starting on the pole there, Mike Dam in second, third is Rob Hartley, Pasquale Nucci in fourth, fifth is Dave Payton, Eric Violet in sixth, then Jacob Beasley, Geordie Fike, Lyndon McMurphy, and then moving on towards the rear of the field, it's Dorman, Bobby Childs, Mike Taylor, Jeff Lavelle, Derek Holland, Edgar Sancinelli, Mike Key, and then Patrick Prevenus in 28th place overall. It looks like Dries Nice hasn't set a time. He's going to be starting at the back. If he does join the field, he's got 30 seconds to do so before we get going on the formation lap for the second race of the day, round 7 of the season.
Yeah, that's ticking by rather quickly, isn't it? Actually, this year or this season. So, well, you know, it will be at Road Atlanta again, wrapping up another one.
Yeah, series all coming to an end. The SRTC heads to its third last race meeting on Thursday when we go to Interlagos. After that, there'll only be 2 more weeks of that series. 2 weeks at oh dear me, Monza. Is it Monza? I think it's Monza no chicane this week, isn't it? Yeah. Then Interlagos next week. The week after that, and then it's Daytona. So, 3
Well,
weeks
that'll be
to go
interesting
there.
if you say that. I'll need to check that out because I've been practicing at Interlagos, so maybe need to sort my act out. I'm literally onto the Facebook group right now.
Yes, how serious it is. Well, we have got 1 lap of yellow flag running for the formation lap.
Oh no, it's Interlagos this week.
And then Monza the week after that, is it?
Yeah. I've been worried for a minute.
Bill. Really good. As this one looks set to be. Don't think either of us would have predicted that Aeronom wouldn't have got on the pole position here. Don't know if it was a lack of track running for him or what, but either way, this is all the makings of a good race here. Another 40-minute race, and we'll run you through the pit stop strategy once we get things underway. Those drivers that have raced at the international layouts of Silverstone on iRacing will know this bit very well. It's pretty much the same, just in reverse, plus with this little chicane in there too, which could get a little bit interesting if any of these guys start fighting for position, which we hope they do over the next 40 minutes of the race. And now just heading through the exit of Beckett's, now into Chapel, the right-hander. Then they're onto the hangar straight again.
Good call for the MX-5s. They give plenty of room because, like we say, it could be very tight. Go down into club for turn 1.
Yeah.
11 Mustangs. Far more MX-5s in the background though, you can see in the shot. Yeah, hidden by the bridge, but they're there.
1.9 miles in length. This circuit here at Silverstone, 3.17 kilometres. And we're going to be heading into Club and Vale in a moment. Safety car comes into the pits, or a makeshift pits, that must be said. The drivers will now get the green light any second now. There it is, and round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series is underway.
Yeah, on the brakes already. Oh, everyone is checking up.
Oof, Ford got hit as well, didn't he? By Whitworth behind. Got a bit out of shape, managed to hold on to it though, but it is Aeronom that takes the lead on the Exeter Club on the way towards Abbey. It's going to be Nom that has it, unless Ford goes up the inside. He has a little look. It is Aeronom that leads then onto the southern section of the circuit. What are the Mazda MX-5s doing? They're just going through Club now. No casualties there, it looks like. It's Travis Fenke that leads them away. There's 2 at the back. They are Jeff Lavelle and Edgar Sanchinelli, I believe. 25 and 26. A little bit cut adrift of the rest of the field, but it looks like they've carried on regardless.
Oh,
and
someone in the background.
yeah,
Oh, who that was, a little bit sideways.
might have been Geordie Fike down to 21st place, but there go the Mazdas flying through the chicane at Ireland. Now into Beckett's Chapel curve, back onto the hangar straight and running out very wide indeed there. Travis Fenke, our leader, could open himself up to attack from Mike Dam. Completely different to Zandvoort, of course, much longer straights, and the opportunity to do some slipstreaming as well favours the Mazda MX-5 much more. Mike Dam's going to get the lead into Stowe Corner here. Will he be able to hold on to it though? It looks like he will, and Mike Dam should lead the opening lap in the Mazda MX-5 class.
Mike will probably want to try and take the opportunity to break away, much like Rob Hartley though, because Just like Rob needed to have a good race last one at Zandvoort, it's basically exactly the same for Mike now. He'll just want to sort of correct the points deficit from earlier on tonight and get a first, and hope that Travis can keep second, and he's got an opportunity just to equal it out for the night. Oh, we missed that. Kevin Ford back into the lead. Don't know where that was. See if I can get a little replay of that.
There it is.
Bad exit for Nom, and that's just opened it up for Ford. Looks around the outside in the end. Nicely done.
Straight around the outside and into the lead. That's another lap in the books as well. You can see that Brandon Whitworth was the quickest person on the end of lap 2. Kevin Ford has a 4/10 of a second advantage. Gives us an opportunity now to go into the strategy aspects of this second race of the evening here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Ford Mustangs will get about 20 to 21 laps on a tank of fuel. A lap around here is just over a minute. So you can expect to see them in, just about the halfway mark into the race. They may pit early for strategy reasons, while over in the Mazda MX-5s they will pit about 20 to 21 laps into the race too. And they'll probably take no tyres in their stop either. The entry to the pit lane here is going to be interesting, Alex, because for what it looks like, you're almost going to have to go onto the grass to get in there. Yeah,
it does look like. Let's hope that iRacing are not too harsh on the sort of, unsafe entry kind of thing. That could be a problem. A huge gap between the top 3 and 4th place here as well, which is Ruddock. So Ross Ruddock. So I don't really know quite what happened to cause that, but it's 5 seconds ahead already. We're only on lap 4, or end of lap 3.
The personal best for Aerodom on that last lap, a 1:13.7, 0.3 of a second quicker than Kevin Ford. But Ford was particularly good on the exit of that right-hander at Club at the end of the lap. Now through the chicane again. This is where Aerodom made the mistake to allow Kevin Ford back through, but it looks like Nom was the quicker of the 2 cars through there this time. Now through the kinks into the Ireland chicane. Now on their way in towards Beckett's, the right-hander, which leads Chapel, then back onto the hangar straight. Again, we've seen so many battles in various series down the years.
See Brandon going with these two. Doesn't often do it, but looking good tonight. Good race last time at Zandvoort as well.
Great to see the front 3 going at it in this class. You would not have expected it after the dominance that was shown by Aero Nom in round 6 at Zandvoort. Won by nearly 20 seconds in the end. It looks like he's going to have his work cut out here today if he wants to win by that margin. With the final cut through, at the first corner they go again, and using a bit of the runoff area as well. You don't pick up an incident point if you go onto the into the runoff area there. You only do get one if you run onto the grass. So
just nick that grass and then you get one, don't you? So
yeah, it's almost like a bit like the exit of the first corner at Watkins Glen in that respect. With he ends up clipping a bit of the grass and you get an off-track point. Speaking of Watkins Glen, how was it last Thursday in the BSRTC? The chaos of the Cup circuit and the slipstreaming.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of fun. Really hard racing. I think I won the meeting, so I was pretty happy with that, to be fair. So, couldn't ask for anything more. Got lucky with a couple of incidents that just happened sort of around me, but didn't collect me. No, it was good. If I can kind of repeat that kind of performance into Lagos, then with the final 2 rounds to go, it could be on. But,
you're 6 points.
And of course, we've got a drop round now as well because of the maintenance. So I think I'd be clearly in the lead of that championship if it weren't for the drop round. But I think Foggy's leading it by about 6 points at the minute.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Sutton 1 point behind you. So you're in a lofty company there, I think. Very, very close indeed. So if you are in America and you don't know what to do on your Thursday afternoon in America, you can watch the BSRTC, that's going to be on Thursday, 8 PM GMT, so that is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern on the East Coast, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast. So have some lunch in California and watch the BSRTC. Always a great evenings watching. And here's the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, and this is the battle for the lead in the Mazda MX-5 class, or 10th overall. It's Mike Dam with a healthy advantage, just about, over Travis Schwenke. In fact, yeah, it's Hartley 3rd, then it's Peyton 4th, Iannucci 5th, and Eric Violet in 6th. You can see the front 4 going through the island chicane there.
Good shot to swing through that, actually.
No, it's very good, isn't it?
Just see the change of direction in the car, yeah.
Yeah, not
quite
too many cars where you
the
can see that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Quite nimble there, MX-5, you know? It actually does move, or does swap up pretty quickly.
Only ever time I've driven this track in any car on the iRacing service was in the Skip Barber series some time ago when I was getting my C license. Skip Barber was quite good around this particular layout too. May even have had a go in the BSR Rallycross event at this circuit. That was quite good too, and a circuit that probably suited that series, just like this series seems to be doing as well. As we look here at the battle for the lead, and you will notice that the front 2 ever so slowly starting to edge away from Brandon Whitworth here. It's about a 1.4 second gap between Aerodom in 2nd place and Brandon Whitworth in 3rd, excuse me, as we go into Stowe.
Yeah, closed up a little bit down the back straight, lost a little bit more through Stowe, so yeah, needs to have a good couple of sectors here, otherwise I feel like you're right. I think that slipstream might just disappear in the next lap or so.
Our club. Now into the Abbey chicane. Interestingly enough, this circuit is Silverstone is situated in 2 different counties. This circuit, part of it is in Buckinghamshire, part of it is in Northamptonshire. Through the Island chicane and now through Beckett's and into Chapel.
Yeah, they both stake their claim, don't they, to the circuit? But yeah, it is in both.
Find which parts of the circuit are.
I was about to say, this one might not be, you know, you see, yeah, I think it's just the southern part that's in Buckinghamshire and the rest in Northamptonshire, the top part, but I might be wrong. Probably check it out, it's probably got like about 3 foot of it or something is in Buckinghamshire and the rest of it's in Northampton. The
Stowe
Bucks are hoping and praying.
Yeah. I think Stowe is in Buckinghamshire. I think that might be it, but I'll have to wait for confirmation for that. If anybody knows, feel free to put it in the chat. But here they're already starting to lap some of the Mazda MX-5s. Alex, there's Bobby Childs, who is in the pink car. Mike Dam's into the pits already. In fact, I think he might have had an issue, Mike Dam, but you can see on the timing tail on the left-hand side that the former leader of the Mazda MX-5 class is in the pits, so don't know what's gone on there.
He did have an off track, but I don't know what that was about. That was a while ago though, so yeah. I think that was just a genuine off track.
Yeah, not too sure what's happened to Mike. Damn, that is unfortunate for him. You can see how these guys are going to have to deal with the traffic here. They're coming up to lap Mike Key and Edgar Sanchinelli. They squeeze through the middle and just about make out where the timing line is on this circuit, and this is going to cost Brandon Whitworth a bit because the 2 Mazdas, they get out of the way for the front 2, but then when Whitworth comes along he's got to deal with a face full of Mazda.
Oh, he's lost it in the background as well. Just coming out of club.
That's game over.
Yeah, look at that, he hit the Armco too.
Got a full lap to do to get back to the pits, and even if he does make it back, he's going to have his work cut out. Here's a replay. Oh dear, lost it on the exit, went across the inside and into the Armco barrier. There's going to be quite a lot of smoke there.
Oh, that's a shame.
One
Doing
thing we
so
haven't,
well.
yeah, one thing we haven't seen in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series is a safety car. Shouldn't need one there.
Oh, we haven't seen one for ages, actually, have we? So
We're not calling for one now, but we're going to have ruled it out. Here's now the battle for the lead after Mike Dam's demise. It means that it's Travis Fenke that's leading the way, with Dave Payton in second, Rob Hartley, who picked up his first win of the season at Zandvoort earlier, and then Pasquale Nucci in fourth. So front four all doing pretty well here. They go through the Ireland S. A bit of the curb there. I can tell you, Alex, after doing just a little bit of research, that the Grand Prix circuit from Beckett's to somewhere near Village is in Buckinghamshire. Otherwise, apart from that, you're in Northamptonshire.
oh, there you go.
So, welcome to Buckinghamshire, everybody, as we go down the Hanger Straight. Village, that is... oh, my Silverstone knowledge, that is...
Yeah, we're kind of going to be close to that, I think, with this circuit, where we have the right of Abbey, and got that little short stint. Then that's kind of where we're heading towards Village. So
Yeah.
obviously
We're pretty
again,
much covering both counties then, aren't we, then?
Yeah, the layout's changed. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. We're just about getting into
Well, yeah.
into Northamptonshire as well.
See the smoke. That's from Brandon Whitworth arriving back in the pits. That's a shame for him, because even though he was slowly starting to jump off the back of Aaron Om and Kevin Ford, he was still keeping touch with them, and if they had started battling, he would have had a great opportunity to capitalise. Here is the battle for, I'm guessing, is the open class lead in the ST class, judging from
No,
the
it's
different
not.
shades
Sorry,
of green.
I will give you the that data.
Ah, there we go.
One of these. There we go. Finally.
It was just because the shades of green were slightly different. I don't know whether that was just a
Yeah,
colour.
the difference between the ST and the Open, of course, but yeah, this one's just all ST cars.
And it's Lyndall McMurphy that we're looking at here, who's chasing down Chris Torman and Jacob Beasley too. So another nice scrap unfolding here in the Mazda MX-5 category. A few people showing up on the timing screen as having crashed. The likes of Jennifer McDowell and Dave Payton too. That's showing up on my screen anyway. But for now we'll focus on this. It's a great battle for 6th and 7th between Beasley and Torman. Chris Torman driving for CT Racing. I'll let you work out what the CT in the name stands for. Medica Sancinelli being shown as in the pit lane as well. So we're 15 minutes into this one. We are about 5 or 10 minutes away from seeing the pit stops taking place in this one as well. So I wonder if that might just be an early roll of the dice for Medica Sancinelli.
I'd say so. Dan's one definitely was a problem because he's physically a lap down and very long time in the pit. So
I don't know whether it's an internet issue for him.
yeah, it could be.
I'm really intrigued to see how these guys are going to get into the pit lane. So hopefully we can see somebody come in the pits at some point during the broadcast here.
I wonder if they've had penalties, you know, unsafe entry, 20-second penalty or something. Might be why they've taken so long.
Wonder if this is something they've factored into it, because as you probably would have seen there going into Stone, and you also would have noticed when the safety car came into the pits to start the race, is that there's no really clear right of way to get into the pits here. In fact, basically the pit lane here is just an old bit of circuit that was used here in the late 80s. So it'll be interesting to see when it comes to it. Bobby Charles has just come into the pits. You can see from there on the screen as well. Aeronom has
come in.
Crashed, says he? He's crashed. He's out, I believe. He's towed back to the pits. That's what it looks like. And Aeronom, it looks like Not
No,
too
he's
sure.
away. That's just a pit stop, I'm afraid.
I'm looking at the wrong name, that's why Alex did me. Right, here we go, it's a replay.
That will be. If I get it, click on the right name. Ah, that's not very good. It doesn't give us quite enough of the entry. Not the bit that we're looking for, anyway.
Oh well, we could probably have a look at our current leader, Kevin Ford. Here he is. I can see how they're doing it. They've got to use that bit of tarmac, haven't they? Yeah, that tiny little stretch of tarmac. And our leader's in. So this is going to be interesting to see. Him and Aaron Non were inseparable just before they made the pit stop. And as we approach the halfway mark in this second race of the day, this is crunch time already. It's in come Russell Ruddock and Mike Ruddock too. This should mean that Leon Wright will take the lead. Ford hits his marks just before the exit of the pit lane. You can see the green cone there. He's literally going to have a clear right of way when he's finished. You can see Aero Nom on the left hand side of the picture as well, going into club. Nom takes the lead.
Yeah, he's cleared him easy, hasn't he? Massive
Very long
difference.
stop. 10 seconds is 24 seconds, 25.
Oh, I mean, there's
speeding
like
on entry.
Yeah. Is that a penalty, or is that an unsafe entry or something like that? Because look, really, he's come out just ahead of Ruddock, so yeah, absolutely crucified Kevin as that.
Yeah, in comparison to what other people have done, he's just ahead of Russ Ruddock, who did a 13-second stop. Mike Ruddock did a 15-second stop. My guess is that Kevin Ford's stop was probably about 10 seconds, but
some unsafe something or other, or speeding.
Yeah, 20-second stop and hold.
And I think that's probably what happened to Dam, actually. Well, he looks like he's had that extra sort of 15 seconds on there, so. But yes, you can make up some time, perhaps going into the pits, but you can also lose an awful lot as well. Exactly what seems to have happened there.
Well, it doesn't mean by any stretch of imagination that Kevin Ford's out of winning this one, but he has got a lot of time to make up. 3 seconds potentially, maybe even a bit more than that. Here is the lead battle in the Mazda MX-5s. It's Dave Payton, Rob Hartley and Eric Violet that are in there. In fact, Violet's a little bit further behind. Leon Wright's just come in his Ford Mustang, which means now that Aeronom is in the lead by 19 seconds, so really has scuppered our chances of having a lead battle. And just when it looked like that, we said earlier in the broadcast that it didn't look like that Aeronom was going to have a lead as big as what he had at Zandvoort earlier. Gap is 19 seconds.
Yep, how quickly it can turn around, eh? Oh, very deep for Holland there.
This is
going to lose a place to Taylor, maybe, around the outside of Club. That would be pretty impressive if he can pull it off. He's got the run. Of course, he would have the inside if it was Abbey as we knew it, but of course we're going to the right. He'll get the move done, nice.
It's the time of the broadcast where we usually go on about give us the wing layout, please.
Yeah.
This layout hasn't been used for a British Grand Prix since 2009, and that is nearly 10 years ago. So yeah, we're basically running a circuit that is 10 years out of date. But it's okay because Charlotte Road is new, and that's getting added to the iRacing service. So, you know, 21 minutes into the
Well, yeah, it's true. It's disappointing, but I'm happy. Is it Sukuba? How do you pronounce it? That's also coming to iRacing, isn't it? So the Japanese circuit, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't driven that since the Forza days, really. Good little track. Good for drifting on. Intrigued to see what it's going to be like when we get some of the other series there. I think this would suit the Mazda MX-5 as well, I think. Don't know about your Kia Optimas, though, Alex, around there. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, not so sure.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, I won't be back in next year, though. It's my one and only time in the Kia, I think. Not that I haven't enjoyed it. It has been fun, I have to say. But, yeah. They bring a new touring car in, might be tempted, mind you, to jump in on that.
Could have a Nico Rosberg take the title and retire at the end. Wait and see.
It'd be nice, but yeah, let's not curse it too much.
Well, me and Woody will pick it up as much as we can when you're not here. But yeah, here's the battle for 4th place then. This is Leon Wright versus Mike Ruddock. Wright was the last car to pit for that tank slap on the exit of the Abbey chicane. Didn't lose him too much time, mind. Gap is 9/10 of a second between the two as they go through the triple kink and now into the Ireland chicane. There it is. And so that cars that are currently out of the race. Dries Nice didn't start, neither did Steve Thomas or Tyler Schiffler. Brandon Whitworth has been in the pits for some time after his crash on the exit of the club right-hander. And the cars that are yet to stop are front 3 in the Mazdas, and there goes one of them now. That is, oof, dear me, who is that coming into it? That was Michael Key in the No Clue Motorsports car. We're still waiting Jacob Beasley, Chris Torman and Geordie Fike to come in to make their one and only visit to the pits with just over 15 minutes to go. So they are planning on leaving it late here, and we'll see if they're able to capitalise on it at all, because so far they've gained quite a few positions. Beasley, in terms of overall position gains, he's gained 10, Torman 12, Geordie Fike gaining 9 places as well. So we'll see whether Rob Hartley and the likes can close back up to them when they make their stops.
Well, you imagine they would, but you never really know, do you? Traffic can sometimes make a huge difference, and you're losing half a second a lap because of traffic. Yeah, could change it around. I mean, let me have a look at the mini-map. How busy is that track right now? Yeah, it's not too bad actually, is it? It's a little cluster going through sort of club right now, but apart from that, there is some gaps out there.
Cars everywhere on the circuit really at the moment. Gap between Geordie Fike and Rob Hartley is 10 seconds. So it's about a 46-second pit lane time from what we can tell. The other drivers have done, so you would reckon that Hartley, Schwenke,
yeah, I would say
will get back ahead.
Yeah, quite comfortably, I think, at the end.
It's quite close for that lead, though. As you can see it here, Jacob Beasley and Chris Torman. Doesn't stop them going at it. They both decide to stay out.
I want that lead lap, don't they?
Goes in.
A little bit of pride, isn't it, to have that lead lap on the stats?
You get a bonus point as well. A few bonus points, if I remember correctly. Just telling you now. Get 1 bonus point for leading a lap. You get a bonus point for being top qualifier as well.
Gonna get it, because a little mistake from Beasley coming out of club. Got a car all sorts of twitching, and yeah, Thorman able to get the run and take it. So he's got to get to the start finish line. He's still in that position though, if he's going to register it.
Yeah, it won't be seen on the lap charts until he crosses the line. He's gained quite a bit of a gap in that time. The gap is now 1 second. Geordie Fike emerges from his pit stop in oh dear me, he's in about 8th place. So I wonder if that may be near where these guys emerge when they come in for their pit stops. Got just over 10 minutes to go here in the second race of the day, round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, the Super Sprint races. Boy, he was going to go in, but there you go. There goes Beasley in, which leaves Chris Torman as the only driver in the Mazda MX-5 class that is yet to pit. I wonder if he knows something we don't. I wonder if it's going to be literally a splash and out of the pit lane again for Chris Torman when he comes into the pits sometime between now and the end of the race. Race order then in the top 5 in both classes as things stand. Aeronom leads Kevin Ford by 20 seconds. Ford has a 5-second advantage over Russ Ruddock in third. And then Mike Ruddock fourth, Leon Wright in fifth. It is pretty close between those two. And then the top five in the Mazdas: Chris Torment, Rob Hartley, Charish Fenke, Dave Payton, and Pasquale Nucci as things stand. As we look again at this battle for fourth place in the Mustangs, make it a free car scrap because we've got Mike Ruddock, then Leon Wright, and Jeff Jacobs.
Yeah, I thought bring that up. Looks pretty tasty. Bit of traffic ahead of them. Can right capitalise on this. Good run for Michael Ruddock. Don't often see him in fourth, so yeah, good. Ross ahead of him at the moment on the track.
About 22 at the race. We're expecting the Mustangs to do about 32 laps. So we've got just over 10 laps to go here in this one. Chris Torman, has he come in? I think he might have done. I can't see him in the lead anymore. Looks like Rob Hartley's back there. So Hartley resumes his place at the front. And won a race all season going into tonight. He'll be very happy if he was able to keep Charish Fenke at bay, because pick up a double race victory. And when he spoke to us after the earlier race at Zandvoort, he want Charish Fenke to be running away with this one. So keeping him at arm's length today at Zandvoort and Silverstone will definitely be Hartley's main aim, and he's doing that quite well at the moment. You will have seen that they've just been lapped by Aero Nom. This is a great scrap between these two. Obviously, championship implications on the line. Looking at the championship standings going into this one, it's Hartley that sits 17 points behind Mike Dam, with Dam looking set to pick up not many points at all. Sat in 20th place overall, which is 12th place here. Then I reckon that points gap may get closed up a little bit. We head to the next race meeting.
Yeah, of course they are allowed drops, so this will be one that probably get dropped from Dam, as long as he doesn't have a repeat of his connection issues that we've seen plague him in the past.
Brew Club. Right hander here. Apex for that has changed a little bit with the invention of the wing.
It's funny because I can't remember who it was I was talking to, but the drivers say the actual profile that they take the corner, so how the car tracks out, the line itself is exactly the same. The shape of the corner appears to be different, but the drivers take exactly the same line through there. That's what they did before, which surprised me, but yeah, I can see that, just the profile change, but still the fastest way around it's exactly the same.
Yeah, corners changed quite a bit from what we're seeing here to what it's like in real life.
Be interesting when we see the new version does get released. Obviously, it was teased, wasn't it, in Tony's post a month or two ago now. So I'm sure we're going to get it, as they're sort of 3 wide, but with one of the back markers.
I hope it's sooner rather than later. Anyway, over the line go the Mazda MX-5s. Look at this. This is another battle for fourth. This is still the battle between Mike Ruddock and Leon Wright. 2 tenths per second between these two as we go onto the back straight. They've got a bit of Mazda traffic to deal with here. That's Geordie Fike and Jacob Beasley. I believe we're about to come a lap here up the inside going into Stowe. They go past Geordie Fike. Asprey Motorsports number 3 car. Currently sat in outside the top 10 in the standings, Geordie Fike. In the open category, that's why. Either way, out of club we go, and you can see that Ruddock using every last bit of grip that he can find to try and put the power down. Very difficult to do so in these Ford Mustangs. Now into the chicane. Got a Mustang. He's got a Mazda between himself and Jeff Jacobs in 6th, but Jacobs will get by that pretty much straight away, and he's going to be right back on the boot lid of Ruddock here as we go through the island chicane. Both of them taking different lines.
Look at this little battle for third. It just started to heat up. Iannucci holding on. Violet there, trying to get back past. Nothing going into Vale, and then a club. Get a bit of a run, but not enough, I feel, to get past before Abbey.
On the brakes. Just 0.3 of a second officially between these two. Last time around, Iannucci did a 17.6 as opposed to a 17.5 that was done by Violet. Iannucci's had an okay season so far, even though it's probably not setting the world alight with his performance today. Here they go through the chicane. Iannucci's still keeping Violet at bay. Looking in the Mazda class, Pat Iannucci has won 1 race so far this season out of his 5 previous starts. This doesn't include obviously his performance at Donington. Now we move back to the battle for 4th place between Mike Ruddock and Leon Wright.
Yeah, for a sudden, Wright was very, very close on the timing tower, but drifted back away. Just seems to sit in that 4 to half a second window, which makes it very difficult to overtake. Can't quite get any closer.
Good to see both battles going on in both classes here with just over 5 minutes to go here in the second race of the evening. Mike Ruddock as well, good to see him so high up the field, and 3 positions gains for him in class. Rob Hartley, for Mike Ruddock, driving for the Flying Tortoise Motorsports number 2 car.
Yeah, he'll want to hold on to this one, won't he, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's a good result. He's got 6 minutes to hold on to it for. It's not going to be easy. Leon Wright is looking racy. Jacob's not too far behind as well. He'll happily pick up the pieces if they start rubbing door handles, battling out.
Bit of right-hander. Mike Ruddock and Russ Ruddock usually race together in the Ricmotech World Challenge, which we've had on the Apex Racing TV channel quite recently. Some exciting changes going to that series for next year. With just the 2 classes, the GTD and GTLM. GT Daytona made up of the Ferrari 488, the Mercedes AMG GT3 and the Audi R8 GT3, while in the GT Le Mans we've got the Ferrari, the Ford GT and the Porsche 911. So, be an exciting season. Of course, all of those cars are very popular indeed. So they won't need to push the promotion, because name a series with those kind of cars in, and I'm sure the entries will come.
Yeah, indeed they will. Love a bit of IMSA, and I like the combination actually of the GT3 and GTEs on iRacing. They're close, but not quite close enough, so it will make for some interesting racing. I know when we did the I can't remember what series it was, but there was both classes in there, and we were able to run as quick as some of the GTEs, so it could be very interesting.
Won't be as tight as a BSRTC, I don't think.
No, probably not.
We'll wait and see, but this battle is pretty tight, I must say. It's now made up of Jeff Jacobs has now joined the party. But here's Leon Wright. He's going to cut to the inside of Mike Ruddock here with just 4 minutes to go. There's not going to be too many more laps after this one, and it'll be a very shame for Mike Ruddock, who's put up a strong defence. Look how high the revs are when he gets on the downshift there, Leon Wright, as we were on board with him.
Run the risk of popping the engine surely at that high,
yeah,
but doesn't do it this time.
Oh, there might have been a bit of contact, you heard it, yeah. Wow. Mike Ruddock doing a fantastic job on the outside to keep himself in this 4th position with 3.5 minutes to go. It's just over a 1 minute lap around here, about 75 seconds in length. So I wonder how long it will be before we get the white flag for this one, but credit to Mike Ruddock. He's had the quicker guys try and attempt to get by, but he's holding his own right now, and he sits currently in 4th position with 3.5 minutes to go as we go through the S's. And on the way into Chapel.
Definitely the
And
closest battle on the
hang straight.
circuit at the moment. There is some stuff going on in the MX-5s, but it's nowhere near as close as this. Side by side then, down the hanger straight. And right, swing it round the outside and make it stick. I'll have the inside for Vale if you can. I think he might be there this time. No, not quite. Although the door gets left open, gonna go through. Right, good on the brakes, but Roddick, he's gonna have the inside. Could just slowly open the wheel up here, make it difficult for right. Doesn't, keeps it pinned and the exit speed.
Great battle this. Rook again holds on. Don't know if he's just showing his hand a little bit too early here with 2 minutes to go. Doesn't want to read out to Leon Wright whereabouts he's going to be planning on defending and stuff like that. But these close remain. Still, these two still remain neck and neck going into Chapel. The tyre screeching as well. I wonder what Jeff Jacobs thinks about all this situation. In reality, he could end up sneaking into 4th place. Just a few laps to go. Russell Ruddock is currently on course for a podium. He's got a 9-second advantage over compatriot Michael. Then it's just about half a second back to Jacobs in 6th place as we now go through Stowe Bend. Over the line to start what will be lap 31 in the Ford Mustangs. Haven't checked in the Mazda MX-5s for a while, as we've just got over a minute to go. But I can say that as things stand there, Rob Hartley is on course for victory. Battle for 3rd place is very much on. Battle for 2nd, I should say. In fact, Travis Fenke has a healthy advantage over Pasquale Iannucci and Eric Violet. But as things stand, these two are duking it out. Very close to going into the back of him there. Eric Violet, as he tries to get by Pasquale Iannucci. Aeronom is just in front of these guys, so when he gets to the line, he's going to be starting the final lap of the day here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Silverstone Southern. Ever since Aeronom's slow pit stop, he hasn't had anything to worry about really as the Team Bushfink driver, and it looks like the 6 for 6 is set to continue as he gets the white flag.
Push it over to him then. So 23 seconds. That doesn't say the story really. It does it of this race because in pole position did have an awful lot for Kevin. He might have done with strategy, but yeah, Kevin unfortunately his mistake. And the race to him. Here we go then. Gonna be the checkered flag.
Checkered flag at the ready.
Just as they come underneath the Santander sign, there it is. Yeah, another great victory of the night, 2 for 2.
3 seconds in the end.
Where this is, but this is very close.
Indeed it is. Into Beckett's. Here is our Mazda MX-5 winner for the 2nd time tonight. Going to be another return to the victory circle for Rob Hartley. 2 wins out of 2 this season. They've both come tonight. Look at this. Mike Ruddock on the inside, defending the inside line from Leon Wright. Wright's going to try and outbrake him going into the final corner and try and use that momentum on the outside. We're going to see if it works. Ruddock up the inside.
Oh, looks good from Wright. Looks very, very good. Fantastic. That's it. There it is. That's the line just there. What a great job. Doing that on the final corner. Mike will be a bit gutted, I feel.
We always hold on for the lead for that long and in such a good way. Turns up losing out on the exit. Mike Ruddock finishing in 5th place in the end. Biggest mover officially in terms of every position gained in each of the classes goes to Chris Torman, who's gained 7 places. Him and Derek Collins both gaining 7. Great battles in both classes as well. Leon Wright and Ruddock just separated by 0.2 of a second by the time they got to the line. And in the Mazda MX-5s, quite a few of the battles were separated by just half a second, as you'll see when we get the results for that class up in a moment. But first, the results from the Ford Mustang class here in round 7 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Aaron wins by 22.9 seconds. Russell Ruddock in 3rd, Leon Wright 4th. 5th place for Michael Ruddock and Jeff Jacobs in 6th. The last car to finish within a minute of our leader. Raymond Bader Jr. had his issues, but wasn't lapped in the end. Same can't be said for Jennifer McDonald, while Brandon Whitworth had issues at the start of the race, and Tyler Schiffler and Stephen Thomas weren't able to take their retrospective grading positions. Over to the Mazda MX-5s then. Rob Hartley wins by 10.7 seconds. Wally Nucci in 3rd, Eric Violet 4th, Dave Payson in 5th, Chris Torman finishing in 6th. 7th place finish for Jacob Beasley and Geordie Fike in 8th. Those two led for a while but decided to pit late on. 10th place for sorry, I'll move onwards. Then it's Payton in 5th, Torman 6th, Jacob Beasley 7th, 8th Geordie Fike, 9th Lyndon McMurphy and 10th Derek Holland. Jeff Lavelle finishing in 11th place, Mike Dam 12th, 13th for Bobby Childs, Mike Taylor 14th, 15th for Gus Antonelli, 16th for Mike Key, and then the cars had issues during the race. Patrick Prevonis out 11 laps down, and of course Ryan Cobb is the steward today. So that is how the field shaped up in the Mazda MX-5 class. Right then, have we got drivers waiting for interviews? In fact, we've got our two winners.
Yeah, I think we've got our 2 winners. So we'll have a very quick chat, but literally it'll be congratulations and yeah, give us some shout outs, I think, because we've obviously heard from them tonight, and yeah, I am ready to pass out.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking with my eyes closed at the moment. Yep. But yeah, into the interview room comes Rob Hartley. We spoke to him earlier after picking up his first win of the season at Zandvoort, and he's now made it 2-2 for the evening at Silverstone. Rob, well done.
Yeah, got the 2-in-1 night special.
Well, you said you needed to do it to help to stop Travis running away with it, and you were able to keep him at arm's length today.
Yeah, Travis and Mike, they're so fast. Even David Payton was very quick in this race. It kind of just fell my way. The luck was with me tonight.
One thing we did notice is that the pit lane looks a bit tricky in terms of getting in there. What was the approach that you did in terms of getting in without having any penalties applied to your pit stop?
Yeah, I really don't like this layout very much, but the pit lane's tricky. You got to aim for that little piece of tarmac, and if you go too far right, you get a penalty. You're pretty much always going to get a 1X when you go in there unless you slow way down. But yeah, just try to enter pit lane smooth and have a good stop and get out in the lead, and it worked.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's one of your best evenings of the season so far. Hopefully it's a benchmark for the rest of the season to come as we head into the second half of the campaign.
Yeah, the temperatures are getting cooler, and I like the cooler weather better, so hopefully it plays in my favor.
Right, well, before we let you go, Rob, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank y'all for putting on a great broadcast, and our sponsors, Frank from Ricmotech. He does an outstanding job with his equipment, and TD's Tree Service, and the admins that make all this happen. So,
great. Well, well done on the double today. Going to close the championship, that's for sure. And thanks for taking the time to come to speak to us after both of the races. And yeah, all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys.
Well, partly there, and Alex is with our overall race winner. It's Aero Nom.
Yeah, welcome back to the booth, Aero. 2 for 2 for tonight, and yeah, I think the margin there didn't really sort of tell us the full story, because it looked like it was quite an interesting race until the pit stops.
Yeah, I got the jump on the start. I always knew it's easy to go outside there and make the pass, but I made a little mistake. I didn't want to take the off track, and Kevin got by. But actually, I preferred that place at that point of the race.
Yeah, well, you were able to control it. You obviously saw what happened. where you popped into the pits and then saw what happened to Kevin, and from there it was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, I think even if Kevin didn't get slowed down speeding, I mean, I think my pit stop was much faster because I was saving fuel behind him, and I think I saved maybe 2 liters.
Oh, okay, awesome. Well, we're going to wrap the stream up, so I just want to give you the opportunity to give a quick shout out and send your thanks.
Yeah, thanks you guys for staying up again so late, and the league organizers were working quick this time because the second race, the quali, was open quali, so yeah, good job for making it happen there, and yeah, the sponsors, and yeah.
Awesome's up. Thanks very much, mate. Enjoy your week, and yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yes, yeah.
Good to hear from our 2 winners. Alex, something different tonight? Zandvoort and Silverstone, both in one evening.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I think we're both feeling a bit rough, actually. Otherwise, I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more than what we have. But yeah, I'm sat here in agony doing it, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and get to bed.
Right. Well, yeah, it's been a good evening, really, of action, fast paced as well. Super sprint format. I wonder if we'll see that again over the course of the evening, over the course of the rest of the season, or maybe in future seasons. And yeah, Alex is right. That is pretty much it from us here at Silverstone South today. Don't forget the BSRTC returns on Thursday, BSR MX5 as well on Tuesday, tomorrow. That's going to be at Interlagos. Make sure you join us for that one. And yeah, Wednesday, iRacing Le Mans Series 2 before the BSRTC on Thursday. We're pretty much out of time here. So my thanks to Alex for doing the cameras, for streaming. And thanks to you all for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe as well. But for now, from me, from Alex, and from all of us here at the Silverstone South Circuit, good night.